Everybody, welcome back with the Purplatypus is the name, and today it's going to be kind of a chill day content-wise. So I'm at level 60 now, and honestly, it's just like I'm kind of running out of. I've been doing daily videos for quite a while now, and I'm just kind of running out of daily video ideas. There's not as much I want to talk about. I want to talk about new stuff as it comes out, but I'm not as like I might start taking a break and not doing a video every day. We'll see how it goes. But today we're just gonna chat about my favorite unit from each rarity. Now, in the past, I think I did a video that was like my the strongest unit in each rarity. This is not tied to that. There is no direct correlation. But this is going to be my favorite. And then also, I'm probably going to do some video. I'm going to do a tier list, like an official legendary tier list coming up pretty soon. I just want to do that when I have more time in the day to record. But yeah, let's just go ahead and talk about units we like, and we'll figure out other video ideas in the future. But today, let's keep it kind of chill. So this is going to probably surprise no one. We're going to go one unit from each rarity here. So I am super tempted to pick Outlaw Archer here. I mean, I think that I'm gonna cheat in the first one already, and I'm gonna make it a tie. So Outlaw Archer is pretty much one of my favorite units in the game. In the bronze tier, there is someone that I like about just as much as them, but I mean, they're just so good. Every one of their skills is fantastic. Like, they even have the beast trap is good because you can put it down and then move. It deals % damage. If an AI or an enemy walks on it and interrupts their turn, it's already good. Combined with penetrating arrow, like not combined, but just penetrating arrow, physical defense down 2, guaranteed for 3 turns. Ballista has this, who's the only other character I think of the game that has this, but you got it right here as well, which is just really, really good. Curse, you know, if you actually get hit, you apply vulnerable. You have also a chance to do attack down, so you have guaranteed defense down, 50% attack down. You even get like a really cool scatter ability here, 70% damage and a 3x3 lowering move. I don't use it, as you can see. But then Luxite Shrapnel, this ability is just so good. Does big AoE damage. It does a big AoE. The damage it deals is % based, so it's fine. But it also does infection. It works with No-No-Will. It's great on tower. Just a utility and a powerhouse. And his main ability, Foot Sniping. I love this ability. You could use him to debuff the enemy. You could use him to, you know, kind of ensnare the enemy, affect their movement speed. You could use them to do stacks of infection. From a pure damage standpoint, they're not insane, but they're kind of like a little bit of an abyss, because whenever they deal damage, they have a chance to do a level 2 attribute debuff. So, like, honestly, just a really badass, cool character that I love. But another character that I've recently started falling in love with that is really strong is our recruited guard here. Now, this might be the most generic looking character in the entire world, but this character is tanky, bro. One of the tankiest characters in the game from a pure damage mitigation standpoint. This isn't the only tank that's going to be on the list, actually. I just like really hard to kill units, because a lot of the really powerful high damage units could be a little bit easier to kill. But he basically gets blocked, and then when he's attacked from the front, he reduces damage taken by 15%, and he gets a guaranteed block chance. So when he's attacked from the front, he's guaranteed to block, and he gets extra damage reduction. He also has Global Guard, which means you jump in front of an ally, and then when you jump in front of an ally, they're attacking your front, right? Because you jump in front, so you're getting guaranteed block with damage reduction and block enhancement, which is more damage reduction, and he has the ability to give himself additional HP, and he also has front defense, so when he's hit from the front, he gets another 30% damage decrease. So he's one of the hardest, tankiest characters to kill in the game. Then, and if that's not enough, he also has the ability to hard CC someone. He just has stun. He could just stun someone for a turn. Like, it's not the most consistent. It's on a 3-turn cooldown. But when you're just looking for someone to keep other people alive, and he's really good at that because he can block as many physical attacks within 2-tile radius. Then also, you just every now and then, maybe you're going to want to stun someone just to give you an extra turn, mitigate some damage, maybe turn off some AoE spell that they're charging. Very, very good character. Recruited Guard, actually super legit. It shouldn't be overlooked, especially for free-to-play players. But again, you want to be careful when you're free-to-play. You don't want to invest tons of resources into your lower rarity units. It's actually a little more of a whale thing, which sounds counterproductive. But when you're getting characters up to like level 60, it takes a lot of resources. You don't want to take these characters up to level 60 before your legends, because these are just more generically useful. But let's go to the silver here. So I think everyone's going to think I'm picking PayPal Ice Priest, which is not accurate here, because this is, if I was picking the most powerful, it probably would be PayPal Ice Priest. But really, and this is kind of funny, it's a little bit of a tie here, but I'm going to pick one between Knighted Guard and PayPal Guard. And I love Knighted Guard, but I think he's just missing a little bit of oomph, just a little bit of oomph. I think he's very close. I do like him a lot, but PayPal Guard it's very similar to Recruited Guard, but there's a few key differences that make him probably better, but it's not guaranteed. The main thing is that he has Flagellant. I think from a pure damage reduction standpoint, he might actually not be as good. He has the same 15% damage reduction and 100% block chance, but he needs to have 3 buffs instead of being attacked in the front. And he doesn't have the front defense. And his guard can only be used 1 time per round. So he's not actually as good at keeping everyone alive. However, because he'll only block once per turn, which is a downside. It doesn't cost any energy though, so it's always there and it boosts his defense. So he's less good at keeping people alive while better at keeping himself alive, because he has Flagellant here. And this is one of the coolest abilities. Angel has it as well. Any character that has it, it's one of my favorites. So you get 1 stack of penance after taking damage. Each stack decreases damage taken by 8%. So it goes up to 3 stacks, I believe, if we click on penance. 3 stacks. So it's 8, 16, 24% damage reduction at 3 stacks, which is very easy to get. But most importantly, it can't be dispelled, and you recover an additional energy at the end of your turn. So now you get 2 energy a turn, meaning you could use this instant ability to give you 25% bonus HP every single turn. Or you could use this one to do 130% damage and get a 15% shield. Not as big of a shield, but you're doing good damage. And you could do it every single turn. And then, you know, crazy damage reduction. So he's actually tankier, but one of my favorite units, because he also can do a little bit of damage, especially if you're not going all in on defensive stance. You're instead of using the hoplite attack, but he's not quite as good at keeping other people alive, but absolutely just like soaks up so much damage. It's kind of crazy. So when we get into the gold units, I mean, you're going to see which ones aren't my favorite just based on how much I've used them. This is my only level 1 character on my account. My only level 1 character on the entire account is Blade. And I'm not saying Blade is bad. Blade is actually quite good. I just have never been in a situation where I really feel like using Blade, which is funny because they're PayPal, and this is like the only PayPal unit that I don't use. Also, I think Stinger's way better. So this is one that's tough for me because there's 2 characters that I like so much. Oh man, it's tough for me to say which one my favorite is. I'm going to do an honorable mention, but I'm going to choose a winner here. So this isn't cheating. Honorable mention is going to be Night Raven. I just love the design of this character. Like, I think this is like weird. Like they got like this holster, but it's like for their cool, like magic wand. It's just like comparatively to other magic users, this character just looks like a sword wielding assassin-y. Like I love the design of this character. I think visually it's a very, very cool design. And this character gets some damage, bro. Increased attack 20% all the time. And then when they have the Hangs mark, you get another 30% bonus damage. And you have a 180% damage with armor piercing. I mean, absolutely like a nuke to end all nukes. It is so powerful. And you actually do get Settlement of the Hangman as well, which is just like if something's about to die, you'll execute them. Just one of my favorite characters visually. I love the flavor of the character. I love Eroding Darkness. I love the Darkest Annihilation. I love the Hangman sub theme. Some of my favorite, all my favorite stuff. I just want I want this team to be overall a little bit better, but I think this is one of the highest single target damage dealers in the game, at least until the next character comes out, which I think might kind of usurp her. And Beryl probably does, if I'm being honest anyway. But my favorite character here is Lash. I just love this design. What a fucking cool character. But more importantly, they have my favorite mechanic built into them. My favorite mechanic when the game launched was like Infect, because I loved Infect, but I've used it so much in Tower that I'm kind of bored of it now. She does piercing damage, which is essentially true damage that ignores physical defense and magic defense. And she's got so many ways to trigger it that's just so fucking fun. After attacking, you deal 30% of her magic attack as piercing damage to the target. After using support or healing skills, you additionally heal target for 20% magic attack. So this triggers off when you use your normal attack, right? This is 60% piercing and then another 90% piercing. Piercing damage is just great because the higher stats get, the more damage reduction there is. This just ignores all those stats. She could be kind of tanky, not the tankiest, but she could be pretty tanky if they got some debuffs. Whip of Blame, man, this ability is good. It hits for 90%, but it really hits for another 60% on top of that. So this is a 150% 5 range AoE, fucking badass ability. Dark Ripple, one of the best AoEs in the game. Dark Withering, I don't love this ability, but I do think it's really good on her because it does that upfront damage of 30% as well. So this is actually an effective 130% damage in a really big range. I still like Dark Ripple more on average, but for 1 energy, you really can't go wrong here. But beyond that, this also works with if you have the the Wheel of Fortune, where you're doing AoE attacks around you at the end of every turn. Like if you get the one that doesn't attack, it'll also trigger the 30% there, so you get extra things off that. If you have certain attacks that like target stuff, like even like this, the Flying Arm Blade, you do an attack for, you know, whatever, 12% of their HP, then you're also going to hit them for 30%. And there's even like a special staff here that does something specifically with piercing, but I actually think I don't have it yet. I think it's one of the ones I don't have. One of the wands I don't have. Maybe I'll here we go. It's the Diffusing Prism. It's another wand perfectly for her, right? Increase your magic attack by 10%, and upon casting an AoE attack, for each 1 target hit, increases magical damage and piercing damage dealt by 10% up to 20%. So as long as you're hitting 2 targets, you're also doing an additional 20% magic damage and then an additional 20% on the piercing damage as well. So just one of my favorite. I love true damage. I love true damage. So very, very cool. Probably my favorite, definitely my favorite gold character in terms of flavor and style and just being badass. Now for my favorite legendary, this is something that's going to surprise a lot of you here. Look, there's a meme on my channel that Guzman is my favorite character for everything. And I won't lie, visually, he's a little bit of an edgelord, but he is my favorite artistic design. I just am a sucker for I'm a sucker for a Dark Knight who's like an undead warrior. He's got a giant fucking cool gem in his chest that revives him, that he pulls on, you know, he sacrifices his life to get power from the evil Luxite. He did this to save his daughter's life, and he failed to save his daughter, so then he has a tormented existence, but he learns to overcome it. Like, he's one of my favorite characters by far. He is my favorite character in the game. Okay, I'll be honest. He is my favorite character in the game from a visual standpoint. But from a mechanic standpoint, even though I do think Guzman is good, which I think he gets shit on for not being good, I actually think he is good. He's just a little bit narrow, which is not usually what you want from your legendaries. From a visual design, he is my favorite. He's at 5 hearts for a reason. But if we're talking mechanics, honestly, my favorite character is going to be Momo right now. I got Momo just when she was on that dual banner, and honestly, I don't really like the design. I'll be honest. I don't visually think she looks very cool. I don't like the necklace thing. I don't like the ears. I don't like the eyes. All right. I know that this is like waifu bait or whatever. It's just not for me. But my God, does she have one of my favorite kits in the game? One, just the repulsion barrier is so fun. It also having a static ability of making everything take more damage over time, which is one of my favorite mechanics. Again, I'm not using as much infection as I was because it's not my favorite mechanic anymore, but she does it in a fun way where I'm not just throwing Luxite grenades. So I love enemies taking more damage over time, especially because I like Scorch as well. The repulsion barrier makes her immune to knockback. I don't think any other character in the game has this right now. Increases her attack, and then she tanks physical damage like a boss. But really, this Doom Waken ability is so sick. Every time I have an opportunity to bring Momo, I just do it because Doom Waken is so powerful and so fun. She gains 2 stacks of Repulsion Barrier and Doom Waken for 3 turns. So she gets 2 stacks for Barrier, which will give her more damage. But Doom Waken for 3 turns is basically at the end of every turn. She has this massive AoE that she increases her attack, and then she gets lifesteal, and then she's going to hit someone for 70%, but she could use it up to 3 times per round. So really, if you're hitting it all in the same character, that's 210% damage on one character in one round. It's really hard to get it 3 times on one character because they have to move and then use an instant action and then use an action, but it's not impossible, but usually 2. So usually you're getting 140% damage off this. But that's if you're using the Hunter's intuition, which is just like I use automatically anyway. But because she also has this passive that increases damage 10%, they're also getting stacks of infection. And then she's the only character that could pull enemies towards her off of edges into death, or she could push them into ledges too. And it's like an AoE thing. It's really powerful. Or she's got this badass misfortune erosion attack. Doesn't look like it does that much damage, right? It's only 65% AoE, but it does 2 stacks of infection. And then if you have Doomwaken, they immediately receive infection damage. And then it just, all this stuff is just like fun. Like, I just love her repulsion barrier, her pushing and her pulling, her infection, her Doomwaken, her her ability to push and pull. I even like the fact that she could sleep. I didn't use that ability, but it is good. I mean, she even has Dark Ripple, which is good. The only thing is on her tarot, I would probably end up using like legit. There's my Edda probably has one equipped where it's like if you stand by, you reduce your cooldowns by a turn. And honestly, I would just be a Doomwaken machine, I think. Just like stand by every turn. I don't think it's that one. It's another one that's like that. I don't remember which one it is. But there is one where it's like, I mean, you might want to use something like this, right? When it's not your turn, you deal 20% increased damage. I actually am a little more biased. I'd probably take the one that gives you, so the unique version is like, you get 1 energy at the end of your turn if you go on standby, but also at the end of your turn, you'll reduce your cooldowns by 1. So this would allow you to keep Doom waking up literally consistently. If you use Doom Barrier the first turn and then you end, I think it gives you a cooldown. It might not that turn, but then you just don't do a normal attack for the next 2 turns. And then, you know, you're basically just going to Doom Waken and Misfortune Erosion in the same turn. And then you're going to wait. Then you could do it again because you're getting all your energy back and you're getting your cooldown. So I think that's like the way to build her. So she always has that ready to go and then switch this in. But yeah, basically, you know, kind of a chill video today. Just wanted to talk about things that I like in the game. So I want to know, who are your favorite characters that are in the game? I want to know in the comments, let me know your 3 favorite characters. You can let me know one of each rarity too. I guess it's only one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, let me know your favorite character of each rarity. I'm kind of interested for sure. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. Hope you all are having a great day. Hope you're enjoying the game. And if you want to see specific content, let me know. I mean, I got some ideas coming up, but we're waiting for the tournament to keep finishing. I didn't have enough time to do the tier list, so I'm just kind of chilling for right now. But anyway, there's definitely a lot more content coming out. But today was just kind of a little bit of a lull for me in terms of I didn't get to play that much and I was at work a lot, but I still wanted to make a video. Anyway, much love. Purplatypus is Purplatypus. I'll see you on the flip-flops. Bye!